Hello everyone. This video is not scripted at all. I just felt compelled to make this video because I've been trying to get closer to God recently, and I've just found it difficult to stay disciplined to read my Bible. And as someone struggling to believe, I felt recording myself reading the Bible to you guys would be a better way of going about that. And maybe someone in a similar position to me might benefit from a video like this. So without further ado, let's get started. I've already done a bit of reading into the Bible, currently on Genesis 18. So that's where I'm going to be reading from. I've been reading one chapter at a time because I don't want to do too much. I just want there to be a small, meaningful difference in my day. So whether that's just reading one chapter every day, that's good enough for me, rather than reading a bunch of chapters in one sitting and then never picking up the Bible again. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Genesis 18, and I apologize for my reading skills beforehand. Now the Lord appeared to him by the oaks of Mamre, while he was sitting at the tent door in the heat of the day. When he lifted up his eyes and looked, behold, 3 men were standing opposite him. When he saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them and bowed himself to the earth and said, "My Lord, if now I have found favor in your sight, please do not pass your servant by. Please let a little water be brought and wash your feet and rest yourself under the tree. And I will bring a piece of bread that you may refresh yourself. After you may go on, since you have visited your servant." And they said, "So do as you have said." So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah and said, "Quickly, prepare 3 measures of fine flour, knead it, and make bread cakes." Abraham also ran to the herd and took a tender and choice calf and gave it to the servant, and then hurried to prepare it. He took curds and milk and the calf which he had prepared and placed it before them. And he was standing by them under the tree as they ate. They said to him, "Where is Sarah your wife?" And he said, "There, in the tent." He said, "I will surely return to you at this time next year, and behold, Sarah, your wife, will have a son." And Sarah was listening at the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in age. Sarah was past childbearing. Sarah laughed to herself, saying, "After I have become old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old so?" And the Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh, saying, 'Shall I indeed bear a child when I am so old? Is anything too difficult for the Lord?' At the appointed time I will return to you, and this time next year, and Sarah will have a son." Sarah denied it, however, saying, "I did not laugh, for she was afraid." And he said, "No, but you did laugh." Then the men rose up from there and looked down towards Sodom, and Abraham was walking with them to send them off. The Lord said, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I'm about to do? Since Abraham will surely become a great and mighty nation, and in him all the nations of earth will be blessed. For I have chosen him, so that he may command his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, so that the Lord may bring upon Abraham what he has spoken about him." And the Lord said, "The outcry of Sodom and Gomorrah is indeed great, and their sin is exceedingly grave. I will go down now and see if they have done entirely according to its outcry which has come to me, and if not, I will know." Then the men turned away from there and towards Sodom, while Abraham was standing before the Lord. Abraham came near and said, "Will you indeed sweep away the righteousness with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous in the city. Will you indeed sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous who are in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to slay the righteous with the wicked, so that the righteous and the wicked are treated alike. Far be it from you. Shall not the judge of all earth deal justly?" So the Lord said, "If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare the whole place on their account." And Abraham replied, "Now behold, I have ventured to speak to the Lord, although I am but dust and ash. I suppose the 50 righteous are lacking 5. Will you destroy the whole city because of 5? And he said, I will not destroy if I find 45 there. He spoke to him yet again and said, suppose 40 are found there. And he said, I will not do it on account of the 40. Then he said, Oh, may the Lord not be angry, and I shall speak. Suppose 30 are found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, Now behold, I have ventured to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 are found there. And he said, I will not destroy it on the account of 20. Then he said, Oh, may the Lord not be angry, and I shall speak only this once. Suppose 10 are there. And he said, I will not destroy it on account of the 10. As soon as he had finished speaking to Abraham, the Lord departed, and Abraham returned to his place. So that was Genesis 18. Apologies for my reading skills. I am really trying to not stutter, and I'm not the best at reading out loud. And don't mind me, I also have tea. I think that was a really great chapter, actually. And it seems like the message of that chapter is anything is possible with the Lord. I think that's the biggest message that I took from this chapter, is that literally anything, like just how Sarah was promised that, you know, she was going to have children, even though she was no longer of childbearing age. I believe that's what it said. I guess also at the same time, this chapter shows how merciful God is too, considering that he's not destroying Sodom or Gomorrah. Interesting name. But none of those places are destroyed simply because there are righteous people that exist within there. Very interesting. With these types of videos, I'm not going to try and preach some advice from any of these Bible verses. I don't know anything, right? When it comes to really anything in life, to be honest. If you go through my channel, you'll see that I privated a lot of videos, and it's because I felt like a lot of those videos came from a place of trying to educate other people. And, you know, I just don't think I'm not much of a qualified person to try and teach people about life. I'm incredibly imperfect. I'm not someone who's in any position to tell people how to live, quote unquote, correctly. That's about it for this video. I'm not exactly sure how I want this to end, but, you know, I just really felt compelled to make this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys could, you know, extract some value from it. Maybe if this helps you on your journey as well, if you're seeing this. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening. Well, there's not too much to watch because it's just gameplay, but yeah, I really appreciate you guys being here, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.